Good morning and welcome to the Stream Networks webinar on Microsoft Teams phone system and our direct routing product, VoiceStream Teams. My name is Matt Shanahan. So a quick agenda, we're just going to go through the Teams overview of the phone system and the opportunity that we have at the moment with Microsoft Teams. Go into the VoiceStream Teams actual product and offering, a quick overview of our portal and VoiceStream Networks. So, the pandemic in 2000, God, forgetting what year we're in now, it's changed everything. Hybrid working is here to stay. If we look at the percentage of employees that were working in a hybrid mode in 2019 in the United Kingdom, that was about 35%. Move on to 2022, we're just below sort of 55%, so 53-54% of remote workers and hybrid working in the UK, but this is still predicted to rise, not by huge amounts, but by 2025, 56% of UK employees will be working in a hybrid type model or role. So remote working is not going away, and hybrid working is here to stay. We've also got businesses that are implementing co-working, so have moved out of big offices and are using co-working spaces to host meetings or to bring a few staff in to meet, etc. So this is not going away. And you've got to think about how we communicate now with customers, with colleagues, with suppliers. Specifically with my business, Stream Networks. If we go back to 2019, we wouldn't dare really think about using a video meeting to talk to a customer. It was very rare. We'd normally use it for things like webinars or live events. But 2020 changed that, and that sort of worry about using video conferencing as a customer tool and speaking to suppliers and colleagues is gone. And if we look at our business, we use Teams as our primary collaboration and video conferencing tool. And I can spend, although we're now back doing customer meetings, when you want to communicate effectively with a customer or a supplier quite quickly, it's easy and efficient to actually get on a Teams meeting and have a face-to-face rather than travelling across the country. So I can find myself doing 2 or 3 Teams meetings a day still. So the way we change, the way we communicate is changing, and I think you've got to look at what mobile phones did to the market of communications. I no longer have a fixed line telephone at home, only to run a broadband connection, but I don't use it as a phone system. I use my mobile, and we're seeing the same sort of thing happening to business voice services. We're going mobile. It's all about on the road, on the move. We've also got this big PSTN and ISDN switch off happening in 2025. So BT have announced they're getting rid of the old PSTN and ISDN network. So all businesses in the UK have got to move to an IP-based product. They started the stop sell, so you couldn't sell analog services on exchanges started in 2020, and that will end by 2023. So by the end of 2023, you won't be able to buy analog services across any of the exchanges in the UK. And then they're planning to switch off the PSTN and ISDN networks by 2025. So starting from this year, December 2022, and ending into 2025, they're actually going to start disconnecting those analog products from the network. So you as IT providers and service providers need to find an alternative telephony solution for your customer. And so now, sort of moving on to Microsoft Teams. Microsoft Teams is actually now the leading UCaaS platform, rated by Gartner. So we can see, some of our traditional business voice providers such as Mitel, Alcatel, Lucent, and then some of the leaders such as 8x8 and Cisco, and RingCentral, where you can see that Microsoft is actually now one of the leading UCaaS platforms for their Microsoft Teams product. So Microsoft Teams isn't just a sort of bolt on to Office 365. It is now a leading UCaaS platform. And you couple that with the fact that the Microsoft Office 365 user base, which creates the opportunity as well. So Office 365, obviously product suite, has all the Office applications, has business email, has SharePoint, things like that. Office 365 now has 370 million users worldwide. Within the UK, there are 311,000 businesses that use Office 365 for email, for SharePoint, for all those, for Azure Active Directory, for example. And 70% of UK SMEs use Office 365, and it's across all sectors, so construction, retail, IT, healthcare, financial services, real estate, marketing, legal, non-profit. Every single business sector you will find Office 365 users, and Teams uptake is actually linked to the Office 365 users. So if people are using Office 365, they tend to start using the Teams application because it is part of that Office 365 suite. So why Teams? And a lot of the people that we speak to don't realise that Teams actually has a brilliant phone system and features behind it. So you've got your customer base that are using Office 365, they're using Teams already. The natural step is actually to migrate Teams to a full working private branch exchange, so you can move your full voice onto Microsoft Teams. And some of the features that Teams offers are call queues, call groups, auto attendance, so that full suite of calling groups. It has modern authentication, so it ties in with your Azure Active Directory. It's easy to provision provision phones and applications. It does complete speed dial and call history. It provides meetings and calls, so from one applications you've got meetings, you've got calls, you've got videos, you've got file sharing, collaboration. Microsoft Teams Phone supports user delegation, so you can have admin management, and they can manage individual users' phones. So a sales manager could be managing and monitoring the sales team's phones. It supports hot desking, so it's easy to move from a PC to a desk phone to your Teams app on your mobile. It's one seamless solution. Obviously, we've spoken about video, so you can get phones that also support video support. It does music on hold, auto attendant upload, so you can upload your auto attendants and a WAV file. It does all the standard things like call, park and retrieve, call forwarding, simultaneous ring, so you can actually ring your mobile phone on your Teams, but you can also ring your mobile phone number. It does group call pickup and forward to groups. Consultative transfer, so when you transfer to another person, you can consult with that person before actually transferring. Caller line ID, does the cloud voicemail, shared line appearance, call blocking. You can apply calling policies per user via the Teams dashboard. It does complete administration of devices, whether that's the software applications or IP phones, and it does a full range of monitoring and alerting of your team's users and devices. So it is a fully functional private branch exchange, and yeah, it's as good as any of the others on the marketplace. So Teams phones, I actually spoke to a couple of our partners recently, and they didn't realise that you can actually configure a phone to work with Teams. They just thought it was all application based. I would argue actually, like your mobile phones, things are going more software based. So if you look at the Teams app on your mobile, you can transfer, you can hold, you can send to voicemail, you can do all these things, and that sort of negates the way for a desk phone. But people still want desk phones in offices, and they want that functionality of a desk phone. So most IP phones or SIP phones can actually be configured with Teams, with Microsoft Teams phone system. We've actually configured and got working some very basic Yealink phones. It's like the very basic SIP model. So I think it was a T21P, and it was an old one. It was about 5 years old. So we've got those working. We've got the standard Yealinks, the 46 range. All those phones will work. But actually, there are some specific Teams phones as well. So you can have a full video conferencing on your phone. And it gives you, some of the Teams phones give you some other options. So from your LCD screen you can see things like, well, you can have the option to join meetings. So if you're on a Teams meeting on your PC, you can actually join it from your phone. So it's a seamless transfer to move from video to voice, very easy to do from one device to another. Stream Networks is part of our VoiceStream Teams offering. We actually provide a range of Yealink Teams specific phones, and if you want any details on those, please speak to your account manager. Teams phones, actually really easy to auto provision and do the authentication. It is literally 2 or 3 minute step process of doing it. Microsoft, for the standard SIP phones, so not Teams specific, have some auto provisioning URLs, and literally on like your Yealink phone, you just need to bring up the web front end of your phone by finding its IP address, go to the auto provisioning section in the settings and put the Microsoft auto provision URL, literally press apply, the phone will update, get its latest config, literally walk to the phone, message is displayed on the phone with an authentication code, and then you go and use Microsoft's authentication broker to literally log in from your PC, and that is it. Your phone is connected. So it's very easy, straightforward. The Microsoft Teams phones have actually one step has been removed from that process, so you don't have to go onto the web front end and configure it. It just gives you an authentication code directly when you get the Teams phones out of the box. So literally all you do is you log into your Microsoft authentication broker, enter the code, and away you go. Your phone is connected. So if you need any further information on the Teams phones and how you support them, we've actually got some links later on in this presentation that we can pass out to you, that you can view to see how you configure phones. So just going on to the VoiceStream Teams product, it's one of 4 new digital voice products to support the ISDN switch off. So well as our Teams VoiceStream Teams direct routing service, we've also got a Voice Express service, which is targeted at really at PSTN switch off. So small shops, individuals with PSTN and want to keep PSTN phones, so it supports analog phones, but it's moving it to an IP based service, so it's up to 1 to 10 users. We've got our Centrix product, which is based on Cisco BroadSoft and Cisco WebEx. So if you're specific to Cisco and want to go that route, and WebEx, we have that whole UC offering supports contact center, analytics, etc. We've got obviously SIP trunks, so standard and resilient SIP trunks, and then our VoiceStream Teams service. So VoiceStream Teams, it's cheaper than Microsoft calling plans. Calling plans from Microsoft for UK calls, don't quote me on how many minutes you get, but start at about £9.99 a month. The VoiceStream Teams for our IT partners starts at £3.15 per user per month, and that's on a 12 or 36 month contract. On a 12 month, on 36 month contract starts at £3.15, but you get 5,000 geo minutes, so to 01, 02, 03, and 2,000 mobile minutes per user per month on the 12 or 36 month contract. So you get those minutes whether you're a 12 month contract or 36 month contract. The provisioning process, it's so easy to provision our team service, so it's complete self-provisioning via the Cascade portal. No PowerShell scripting required. It's literally a 2-click provision process. So with the other direct routing solutions, it's a little bit more complex. You have to go and configure direct routing in your Teams admin center, and then you also have to go and enable PowerShell scripting on each Teams client. Now some companies actually have apps that you can download on your PC and your phone that does the PowerShell scripting, but it's still, you've got to go and configure each and every device on that network and apply that application. With Stream Networks, it's literally a 2-click provision process. All we require is your admin ID for your Teams admin or Office 365 admin ID, which is I think 16 hexadecimal characters. We need that. We plug that into our portal and API, and then via the provisioning process, as we can serve it later, you just click on a link we send you in our provisioning process to set up the operator to connect part in Microsoft Teams, and that is it from setting up the Teams direct routing process. There is obviously configuration of auto attendance and users, but again, we've done some videos on that. Very easy to configure users, apply licenses, etc. We have dedicated peering to Microsoft across our network. So if you're using the Stream Networks connectivity with VoiceStream Teams as well, we provide dedicated peering to manage that voice traffic across to Microsoft. We also do things, if you've spoken to us about SD-WAN, that can actually identify specific Teams applications and applications across your network and steer them across better paths if you've got multiple connections with us. We support full number porting, so we can port in geo, non-geo numbers from your existing providers. We do pre-port checks, so we check we got all the numbers, we test them before they port into Teams. So easily migrate from your existing telephone provider into Teams. We also offer upgrade options for PCI call recording up to 7 years, so you can record all of your users' Teams voice. We can add on contact center features and call queues. Things like wallboards and analytics, so you can get quite a lot of analytics via the actual Teams admin dashboard, the phone system admin dashboard, about call usage and users, but actually we can add on further analytics, real-time analytics and dashboards if required. We've obviously got a range of IP phones, and we also do a range of Yealink video conferencing devices to give you a seamless video conferencing phone solution. From the portal, our Cascade portal, where you order it, you can get full CDR downloads. So we've done quite a lot of work on that. So you can download and export your CDRs from Stream Networks into your own billing platform. However, we have on our development list, we're planning to do call billing from our own portal. So our CDRs come into our portal and will be attributed to your customers on a customer by customer basis. You'll be able to go into that customer account, view that customer's CDRs and then press a button to onward bill. So that development is planned for Q1 in 2023. Going on, just about a bit about our network, which I'll cover off later on. But we've got a carrier grade infrastructure, so we run a call Juniper network. We do SD-WAN. Also got a business portal for call failover and divert. So should you have any issue with your, or should Microsoft have an issue with Teams, you can go into our business portal and you can actually divert your entire DDI ranges, or on a per user basis, to mobile phones or an alternative. We also show you how easy it is to deploy Microsoft Teams, and we provide free training and support via our help desk to get you on the road. Oh. So just going through a case study. Just going through a case study. So we had a partner who had a leading London law firm. They had 102 users on existing PBX on site. Obviously needed to move off because of the ISDN switch off. Wanted a better solution to communicate with their hybrid workers and remote workers. They were already using Office 365 and Microsoft Teams. 40% of staff were working from home. So the partner contacted Stream about our direct routing solution, and after we offered a successful free concept trial to both the partner and the solicitor. So if you sign up as a partner, we're happy to give 30-day free trials to both you and any of your customers. So after the successful free concept trial, we migrated existing Geo phone numbers over, so 200 DDIs across to our Teams platform. The partner deployed a mixture of new IP Teams phones, reconfigured some existing phones, but a lot of remote workers just went and used the Teams app with a video camera and headsets on their PCs and laptops, and used the Teams app on their mobile phones. We also trained the partner on setting up Teams admin and IP phones, so we went through the whole training process of how they configure auto attendance, call queues, how they get the most out of the Teams phone system and their IP phones. We also delivered PCI compliant voice recording, so it's handed off via our business portal. You can come in and see voice recording. We store up to 7 years. The result of this is we've got obviously a happy solicitor that's improved their teamwork, their collaboration. They've got one unified platform for video, for voice, for calling, for communicating with customers, suppliers and colleagues. And it saved overall on their existing phone costs because of the inclusive bundled minutes. So why Microsoft Teams? It's one collaboration platform for voice, video, file sharing and conferencing. It provides opportunity for the MSP or MSPs to sell additional O365 licenses and support services, so supporting configuration of your customers' Office 365 infrastructure. You can connect a range of IP handsets, and it's one platform to maintain and manage. You haven't got a customer that's using Office 365 and they're using Cisco WebEx or 8x8 or another platform. It's one platform to maintain and manage, one seamless platform. So just going through the portal overview, it's very easy to order live on our portal. You can see there's 4 buttons here on our portal: connectivity, cloud, voice, mobile broadband, digital voice. So you just literally click on the digital voice button. It then shows an options for our 4 digital voice products, but it's straightforward. It's about a 3 or 4 screen process. You need to input like the new geo number range that you want. We capture like port range data, so if you're porting numbers across to us, and literally this is all you need. So you just need the Office 365 tenant ID. You click on that link, it actually shows you, takes you to a blog to where you as a partner can find your Office 365 tenant ID. Enter a username and password. The admin username and password is for our own business portal where you can do the number diverts. So that gives you access to that as the failover. And then once you've done that, you literally click on a link and it takes you into your Teams admin to set up the Operator Connect. Our system then goes through a number of updates, but the same day of you placing the order, if you then go back into your Teams admin section under phone numbers, you can see that just above that Operator Connect bar, you will then see the list of phone numbers in your Teams admin section that you can allocate to a user or a voice application, so an auto attendant or a call queue. We do full usage charges, so via the Cascade portals you can come in, you can download your CDRs, you can export them and move them onto your own billing. This is just a few screens for the business portal, which also shows dialed numbers via the business portal, as well as getting this information from Teams. You can also get this information from the business portal and do things like configure call diverts, reject. So this is before Microsoft Teams. You can actually configure this stuff in Teams, but you can actually configure it on our business portal as well, just in case you did have an issue, or for some reason Microsoft had an issue with their Teams servers. So just moving on to what licensing you need to get on Microsoft phone system. So any customer of yours that has an Office 365 Basic, Business Standard, Business Premium E3 license, they will need an additional phone system user license, which is a cost per user. If they've got E5 licenses, the phone system license is actually included in E5 Office 365 licenses. Stream Networks can sell Office 365 licenses. We don't make any money out of it, but otherwise you can use your existing existing provider for your Office 365 licenses. So each user will need a phone system license per user, and then you need a Teams user license, so a VoiceStream Teams user license that gives you the actual outbound dialing, so the 5,000 minutes and to Geo and 2,000 mobile minutes per user. And then for auto attendance and call queues and call groups, you need a Microsoft Phone resource account license per feature. So that's actually a free license. You buy it from the same way you would do your phone system license and your Office 365 licenses, but it's actually free. It's a resource account license, and you will need to allocate one of those per feature. And if you, at the bottom of this webinar, there are some links, some videos on how to set up Teams with Stream Networks, and it goes through in the auto attendant video how you can set up resource accounts. So you just need to make sure that you've got a Microsoft Phone resource account license, which is free per feature applied. And then you need a VoiceStream Teams feature license for each call queue and auto attendant. So VoiceStream Networks, we're a leading UK privately owned network aggregator. We do connectivity, voice and cloud. We're ISO 27001, 9001 and G Cloud registered, so on the Crown Commercial Framework. If you're trying to sell into any government body, our customer service is key, and providing a return on investment for our partners and customers. We're techno experts, we're leading channel provider, and we like to innovate. So we like to bring products that you can sell and bring increased revenue and margin for you as the IT provider. So just touching on our network a bit. So we've got one of the UK's most connected network. for mobile, fixed line, FTTP and Ethernet networks. So if you're wanting to add on dedicated connectivity for your Microsoft Teams phone system, we provide direct peering to Microsoft. We manage our traffic. It's got specialist peering for SIP and UC, Unified Communications. We've got our leading partner portal Cascade. We run our own private cloud infrastructure. We do some interesting things with SD-WAN. So if you wanted to application steer Teams traffic based on latency and utilization over different links on your network, we can support that. And we've got over 5,000 connectivity and circuits managed nationwide. So just to summarise, VoiceStream summary, we're a dedicated channel provider. We've got the full suite of digital voice products, so Express, Centrix, SIP and our VoiceStream Teams product. We own and operate our own network. We've got full portal ordering and billing functionality. We've got a 24/7 365 help desk. Our network has DDoS protection. We've got voice-ready connectivity, the Microsoft peering and SD-WAN. We help and support our partners. We educate you. We give you training. We allow you to, really understand our products, and we support you on that journey. And we believe there's a significant opportunity to migrate people across to these products when you consider the PSTN and ISDN switch off and the opportunity that Microsoft provides and presents. So I did mention earlier about some links, so useful links on our website and on YouTube channel. So we got some various links on how to order it in 5 minutes, literally, with Stream Networks. I can share these slides with you once the webinar is finished. So you've got the links. How you create call queues and auto attendance, literally it's a 20-minute video. It's very point and click, easy to use. How to configure IP phones, again you can configure an IP phone actually in about 5 minutes to connect to Teams. We've got a full video, and actually if you've got our website, we've also got blogs, so step-by-step process on how to configure IP phones and auto attendance on our blogs. But also on our blogs we've got what Office 365 licenses do I need for Teams Direct Routing, and also how to find your tenant ID to get it configured. And that was the end of the presentation. Thank you very much. Any question and answers can be taken now.